YouTube, what is good? It is your boy STMXVII back at you again today with another Apex Legends video. And in today's video, guys, Season 18 is finally here, and that means an updated Legends tier list. I really hope you guys do enjoy the tier list, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts and comments down below. And let me know if you guys have any problems with where I place things. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm not here to hurt feelings. I just want to bring y'all quality entertainment and my opinion on the matter. Alright, y'all. If you do enjoy, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like and possibly a subscribe as well, as we are on the way to 600 subs. Alright, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Alright, y'all. Let's get straight into this tier list. And I think we're going to be starting off with Bloodhound. Bloodhound has moved down just a little bit from the previous season, and I think he sits right at about B. And the reason being for that is because of the Revenant rework and a couple other legends getting nerfs and buffs. He's still very good and still very good for beginner players, and I think if you are just beginning Apex, Bloodhound is going to be a perfect pick for you. I mean, obviously the wall hacks, the scans, and his ultimate is super nice and can be increased even further with the White Raven. Bloodhound is still very viable, and you will still have a great time using him. Next, the man of the hour, Revenant Reborn. And honestly, guys, I'm gonna say he really got a rework. I mean, this legend has went from about F tier all the way to A or S, depending on who you are. And honestly, I have played a lot of Revenant Reborn since he came out, and I would honestly put him S tier, but I'm going to be a little bit more realistic and put him in A because his team utility is just not there. He is an amazing fragger though, and an amazing aggressive option if you're trying to get a lot of kills. We are going to look at Horizon. Horizon is still S tier. To this day, she's been S tier for quite a while now. They just have not really nerfed her at all. The vertical movement and being able to get out of jail free cards just from her vertical leap is insane. Her passive is awesome for evading anyone. And her ultimate has just enough to be able to throw people off, and you can cut off areas where people are pushing you and use it as a utility. Use it as more defense than offense, because that's really what it's amazing for. But don't forget, you can toss those nades in there and make it even more deadly. Next is going to be Crypto. Crypto is going to slide in B tier next to Bloodhound. I think they're honestly pretty equal. Crypto is just a lot more defensive rather than offensive, although his drone can grab cards. Honestly, that's just really nice for like ranked play and stuff, not so much for pubs, but Crypto is still very nice and great information getter, and you can farm shields and stuff from his ultimate. But honestly, guys, his offense just isn't really there, to be real with you. So I think B tier is a decent spot for him. Still a great information legend, and still definitely recommend you try him out. Next, we are going to move on to Catalyst. Now, honestly, Catalyst is either A or S. Honestly, I think I'm going to put her in A tier. And reason being, she is just the absolute best controller legend. It's not many like Catalyst who can really lock down a building or just a specific area in general like her. She can be used more effectively out in the open as well, which is really nice. Like someone like Caustic might not be able to do that as much. So I think we're going to stick her in A, and I definitely think she belongs there, and she could see a rise. We're just going to have to see what happens. Caustic. Now, honestly, I was kind of torn between C or B, but I think I'm going to put him in C tier because I just see his effectiveness more towards buildings rather than in the out and open. So just kind of keep that in mind if you are playing Caustic. He's a lot better for ranked play more so than anything. So again, just keep that in mind, but he's still really nice for being able to lock down areas and stuff, like I said. So yeah, Caustic in C tier just makes sense. Next up, we have Pathfinder, and I think I'm going to put Pathfinder in S tier. He is my main, but I don't think I'm being biased by putting him there. he is probably the best movement legend in the game next to Revenant at this point. Just not really following any of the rules for movement for Apex is really nice. It can throw people off when you're using that grapple, and his team utility is definitely there with the zip lines. I mean, absolute king of rotation, guys, and he can get instant scans on those care packages and get his ult right back. Pathfinder has been at the top for a very long time, and I honestly don't see him going anywhere besides S tier. Next up, we got Bangalore, and I think Bangalore honestly belongs in S tier as well. She is just absolutely one of the most complete legends in the game. You are able to outplay people so easily with the smoke grenades and also help your team get reses, all that good stuff. She is just awesome for that type of stuff. And her passive double time is still insanely effective in fights. People still don't know how to counter it, and there really honestly is no counter to, if we're being real. So Bangalore also with her ult can make people just get out of an area immediately, get some nice extra damage on people as they're running away. Whatever you want to use it for, just make sure you throw it in the right spot and you're going to get a lot of effectiveness even after its nerf. Next, we have Ballistic. Honestly, guys, I think Ballistic belongs next to Caustic in C tier. He's kind of fizzled out of the hype train type thing, so honestly, we were able to get more of a read on him and his effectiveness. He really needs a good squad to become really effective, because that ultimate with the unlimited ammo is just insane in fights, and you can seriously do some great damage, get a lot of kills with it. But when you're solo, it's kind of just, you know, it doesn't have that much effectiveness. Next, we got Rampart. And honestly, I'm torn between B and A here, because she really is that awesome mid-ground for offensive and defensive play. She can really make an effective use if you know how to use her properly. It just kind of takes a second to set up, especially if you get those walls going. It's really hard to hit people, and they're also just really annoying because you can lock down areas very well. And obviously the Sheila can do great damage and scare people off quite well. So I think honestly I'm gonna put her in A tier, as it just makes more sense, and I would definitely check Rampart out if you haven't in a while. She may surprise you. Next, we have Vantage. Vantage, I definitely believe belongs in A tier, as she's very overlooked a lot of the time, and I don't quite understand why. I just don't believe people really play her enough to understand her full potential. Echo is just amazing for repositioning, getting to high ground, whatever it may be, and it's also awesome movement tools as well. And her ultimate, the sniper, is kind of forgettable, honestly, but it does scare people off because the laser, it's kind of funny to see people just run away and scurry whenever they see that thing. And her passive is really nice too, because you can see the shields and how many players are on a squad together. Next, we have Wraith. Wraith, I definitely think has moved down just a little bit, but I think she's still sticking around in A, as, you know, we all know about Wraith at this point, but her Q is just awesome for getting out of areas, maybe traveling across areas if people are watching. Her portals are awesome for team play in general. I wish her passive got a little rework to maybe tell you where they're looking at you from, but it's still nice to know when people are taking a peek at you. Next is Valkyrie. Valkyrie, I believe, belongs in C tier. I was kind of maybe thinking about placing her in B tier, but as of right now, her ultimate is just kind of really outclassed by the evac towers, so it doesn't have too much of a use, and that's where the problem lies. If the evac towers weren't in the game, I do believe she would be in B or A, but she still is really nice being able to get high ground like that, and also using her tactical to your advantage as well, because it kind of does scare people off. But yeah, I just believe she's a bit outclassed nowadays. Next is going to be Ashe, and honestly I'm kind of torn between C or B, but I think I'm gonna go with B tier. Her abilities are just kind of forgettable at the end of the day. I just feel like that really holds her back. She really needs a rework, if we're being honest, but you can still make things happen for sure with Ashe. Her portal is always really, really nice, and you just kind of have to be careful because it is a one-way portal. Her tactical is kind of eh. I mean, you can make some people mad, like kind of annoy people, stop people from running away from you, but you just really know how to have to use it in order to make it effective. Next, we have Loba. And honestly, I'm thinking A, but S tier would be understandable. So I think I'm going to leave her in A, but she is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Her portal is just awesome. You can toss that thing about 75 meters and just get the hell out of there. I'm telling you, it's really, really nice. You can also cut it short if you are being shot at. And obviously, her black market is just ridiculous. I mean, come on now. Any loot in quite a big space of area, wherever you need it, is awesome. Next, we have Seer. Now, previously, Seer was obviously an S tier legend, but with the nerf he recently just caught this season, I do believe he's going to be sitting in B tier. And honestly, he's still really, really annoying, but it's just less annoyance at this point. And he's obviously still great at getting recon information for you, and again, just annoying people with his tactical. And his heartbeat sensor is also really nice as a passive. You just have to know how to use it. So yeah, I think he belongs in B tier, but honestly, I wouldn't be mad if someone put him in A. Next, we have Lifeline. And I am going to put Lifeline in C tier, just because nowadays she's kind of getting outclassed by the other legends. And I think reason being for that is she kind of needs a rework, to be completely real with you. I just feel like her abilities are kind of lackluster at this point, but she's still very, very, very nice for ranked and just team play in general. Next, we have Mirage. And I think I'm going to put Mirage in D tier. Honestly, he's just very, very useless nowadays, especially in the higher skilled lobbies, because he's just very predictable. The only really great thing about him is his Invisores, but you can see him whenever he's doing that, so it's not insane. But honestly, I just believe he is another legend that could really use a rework, so hopefully we see some love for him in the future for all you Mirage mains out there. Next, we have Gibby. And honestly, I was kind of thinking A or B, but I think I'm going to put him in B tier. He is awesome for team play because of his bubble. If you are stuck out in the open, you can throw that out and you are going to be easily able to get cover. You can also bubble fight, and anyone who is good at bubble fighting is going to mess you up with Gibby. His biggest downside is obviously because he looks like the Incredible Hulk. His hitbox is pretty ridiculous, but if you are able to play around that, you are going to have a lot of fun. Next, we have Fuse. Fuse moved up some spots for me personally. I do believe he belongs in B tier. He is very, very, very good at getting damage for you with his tactical. I mean, you could kind of just shoot that at a full squad and it's going to get like 150, 200 damage depending. And it kind of just scares people as well. His ultimate is able to box out an area and keep people trapped in there, but it is easy to avoid if you know what you're doing. But yeah, I think Fuse is going to be fun to play this season, but we'll see how things turn out, and I think he belongs in B tier. Octane, and I think we are going to put him in B tier. He's just kind of outclassed nowadays. He's more just that runny gunny aggressive legend that you use to work on your movement and gunplay, because he is just the movement king. He's still the fastest legend in the game, but he just doesn't really provide too much for your team. So he kind of just is that aggressive frag out legend that is just fun to play nowadays. Next is Newcastle. Newcastle, I do believe, belongs in either A or S tier. And honestly, I think I'm going to put him in S tier because for a few reasons. He just never gets enough love. Honestly, guys, I don't understand it either. He's got an amazing tactical with your mobile shield. You can throw that to protect yourself, get resets, protect teammates, whatever it may be. And of course, his ultimate is just insane. If you are out in the open and you need some cover, who better to get it with than Newcastle? Next is Mad Maggie, and Mad Maggie again is just really nice as an entry fragger legend. She provides a lot of great utility for the team. With her wrecking ball, you can throw that thing and really start to scare people when they see that thing coming at them and do some really nice damage. And also her tactical, the drill, is great for opening fights, like I said, the entry frag. And her passive with the shotguns, especially this season, is going to come in so clutch. I promise you guys, give Mad Maggie a try this season with a PK or Mastiff or whatever it may be, and you will go off and get plenty of damage and nice high kill games. Next is going to be Wattson. Wattson also moved up a spot this season to B tier, as she is great for defensive play and locking down areas. Her playstyle is extremely unique as well. The fences are so annoying. I wish they weren't in the game, but you know, it's just part of the game at this point. Her ultimate is great for team play as well, as you can constantly be rezzing shields on your teammates and yourself during gunfights. And I just believe Wattson sits in B tier at this point. Alright, y'all, there's the tier list for you.